Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Five Flags Arena. For your safety, we'd like to call your attention to the location of emergency exits along 5th Street in the northeast and northwest corners of this facility. In the case of severe weather, please remain in your seats for instructions, and the ushers will escort us to some designated areas. At this time, would you please take a moment to turn off cell phones, pagers, any other devices that may make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready at this time to present the class of 2017. Due to the length of the processional, we ask that you remain seated. Good afternoon. 11 members of the class of 2017 will be joining military service after graduation. We are proud of their commitment to the United States of America. At this time, I extend an invitation to each of you to rise and join with the class in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence for reflection and remembrance of family and friends. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated while our vocal and orchestra students move into place. We extend a special welcome today to Superintendent Mr. Stan Reingans, Director of Secondary Schools Mr. David Olson, school board members, and certainly the parents, relatives, and friends of the class of 2017. It is a pleasure to have you here this afternoon for Hempstead High School's 47th annual commencement. I am pleased to recognize some of the members of our faculty who are joining us today. Faculty, please stand, give us a wave. We truly appreciate all the support and encouragement you've given to the members of the class of 2017. You've played a key role in preparing our students for the challenges that await them. The class of 2017 is closing out an excellent 4 years. Academically, 159 members of this class have completed their high school careers with a grade point average of 3.0 or higher. This reflects a tremendous daily effort on their part. They've also set high standards as a class by actively participating in all that Hempstead has to offer. Success in music, speech, theater, academic competitions, student government, clubs, and athletics has certainly been the norm of our graduates. The class of 2017 has brought tremendous leadership to our school community. Parents, your students have become known as students of good character. What you have modeled at home, they have actually brought to school. They were listening to your guiding words, and more importantly, they were watching how you live your life. Thank you for raising them with your support and love. Graduates, take a moment, see if you can catch the eyes of those here to support you, and thank them. Congratulations. They'll be back home shortly. To the members of the class of 2017, I congratulate you on reaching this milestone, and make no mistake, this is a milestone. Our diplomas are never given, they are earned. You have met your goal of graduation, and we are definitely proud of you. Your work and effort throughout the last 4 years will give you a solid foundation to build on. We all know that learning never ends. We believe you have the skills, knowledge, and ability to go forward and achieve your life goals. The underclass students and staff join me in extending to you our very best wishes. We wish you good health, happiness, peace, and good fortune. Good luck to each of you as you travel life's journeys. You are loved. Today is Saturday, June 3rd, 2017, and it is a great day to be a Mustang. Thank you. It's my pleasure to present the Superintendent of Dubuque Community School Districts, Mr. Stan Reingans. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Kolker. As we start this afternoon, I think it's important to take a second and recognize the contribution that our school board members make. Many of you maybe don't know our school board members, but know that they work behind the scenes countless hours every year to make sure that you've had the opportunity to spend the last 13 years in a school system that's provided you with a world-class education. Today we have board members Jim Prohaska, Craig Byteen, and Board Vice President Tammy Ryan. Dubuque Hempstead class of 2017. You've made it. For the past 13 years, you have all worked towards a goal to reach this day, and today you will graduate from a high school that is routinely recognized as being one of the top high schools in the state of Iowa. I know that the journey has not always been easy, but you have persevered, and today the entire community of Dubuque is proud of you. Graduation is a great individual accomplishment, and each of you have done the work necessary to earn your diploma. But I want to remind you that none of us succeed on our own. Please take a minute right now and visualize the people most responsible for you being at graduation today. It could be parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors, classmates, friends who pushed you, and of course your teachers and coaches. It might be one person, it might be 20. Now promise yourself that you'll find the time in the next week to thank that person for their support. Also take the time in the next few weeks to celebrate this important milestone. But please remember that today is important not only because it signifies the accomplishment of an important goal, but it also represents the start of the next chapter of your life. You have been prepared well by your teachers, and I congratulate those of you who have arrived at graduation having accomplished much. You certainly have a head start into the future. But I challenge all of you to believe that from this day forward, anything is possible for each of you. You have the opportunity to define success for yourself. Your future is limited only by your willingness to dream big and work hard every day to accomplish your goals. Congratulations, Hempstead High School class of 2017. We are proud of your accomplishments.
This program is being videotaped by school staff, and it will be aired on Dubuque Cable TV in June. A professional photographer is taking a shot of each graduate as they receive their diploma. In a couple weeks, each graduate will have a proof copy emailed to their home. Purchase information will be included in that email so that each family can make their individual decision about that. Hempstead music groups have had another amazing year. Concerts, contests, and an outstanding musical production were some of the high points. We extend our thanks to the students and their directors. The choirs and the Hempstead Orchestra are co-directed today by Ms. Terry Slade and Dr. Kevin Price-Brenner. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hempstead Choirs and Orchestra. Wow. Thank you, students and directors. The Scholastic Honor Award is given annually to the students in the class who maintain the highest cumulative grade point average over the 4 years. 29 members of this class have completed their high school careers with at least a 4.0. These students represent academic excellence at its best. They have earned at least a 4.0 grade average while taking rigorous course loads. Their transcripts are covered with a variety of honors and advanced placement courses. Their activity participation also shows outstanding accomplishment in every area of our school programs. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you the Scholastic Honor students for the class of 2017. Will they please come forward, and please hold your applause until the end so that all names can be heard. Livia Schutz, Heidi Wallou, Mason Niebel, Emma Sherlock, Jackson Zartman, Emily Tigas, Tressa Laura, Audrey Krylig, Taylor Butler, Derek Benson, Brooke Tauber, Annika Hogstrom, Brittany Kuntz, Lillian Reese, Kayla Felderman, Carrie Klein, Maxwell Unmocked, Grace Modernock, Adam Mueller, Brenna Franson, Holly Bitter, Rachel Ryan, Matthew Engelken, Elizabeth Robertson, Carrie Houlihan, Samantha Gibbons, Caroline Hendren, Bailey Hansen, and Maya George. Mr. Reingans will assist in placing a medal on each Scholastic Honor student's neck. A special medal is awarded to our salutatorian, Bailey Elizabeth Hansen, with a GPA of 4.3896. And our valedictorian, Maya Eleanor George, with a GPA of 4.3956. Congratulations to all of our honor students. Congratulations. Activity awards were given earlier this spring at our annual awards assembly. The recipients of these awards were selected primarily for their contribution to a given activity. You will find printed in the program a description of some of these awards and the basis on which the award was given. Also, I would like to call your attention to the special awards section of the program. Many students in the class have earned awards. Their names are listed in this section. Speaking on behalf of their fellow classmates today are two highly regarded graduates, Haley Brees and Rachel Ryan. Mike is a little soft, so get in there tight.
I'm a little bit shorter than Mr. Kolker. 1 second.
It's a little bit soft, so get in there tight.
Good afternoon. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of the teachers, administrators, families, friends, and supporting members of our community. And most importantly, welcome to the graduating class of 2017. Well, guys, we finally made it. We made it past the exams, past the senioritis, and after you walk across this stage today, we will have all made it past our final step toward our bright and hopeful futures. It seems so crazy that we are all here at our graduation today. Some of us have been going to school together since kindergarten, where we thought it was cool to wear sparkly light-up high tops, and that winning Foursquare was the ultimate sign of popularity. Others of us met during those awkward middle school years, and don't kid yourself, it was awkward for all of us, when silly bands were apparently still a thing. And many of us met and grew close through our high school experiences, when we were just trying to figure out who the heck we were. It might not have all been smooth sailing to get to where we are today and who we have become. We have all faced and conquered our own challenges. However, be grateful for them, because they have taught us to appreciate life and make the best of it. They have helped us to grow as individuals, and it was in the pursuit of overcoming those challenges that we met our best friends, found our true passions, and made the best memories. My favorite moments from high school were more comprised of the little moments than anything else. Not so much what happened at all the dances, but hanging out with friends and laughing so hard until our stomachs hurt. And not so much how every musical went, but how I was embraced and cheering with the rest of the cast after each and every show. And I don't remember the scores from all the sporting events or all the spring wind activities. Sorry, guys. But I do know what happens when you get a group of 21 golf girls together to play Just Dance, and how we sang our hearts out, even if everyone else wished that we would just shut up. It's moments like those that make high school great. The moments when you would hang out with your teammates outside of practice, the many inside jokes that developed over the years, and the moments that weren't planned out, but just happened. Those will be the moments that we remember, because those were the moments that were raw and true, when we didn't care who was watching. That's why, as you move forward, take advantage of every opportunity. You never know when inspiration will strike. Take a leap of faith, because you don't want to look back and say, what if? No matter what your future plans are, whether that be attending a college or university, enlisting in the armed forces, traveling abroad, or starting your journey in the workforce, just own it and follow the path that expresses who you are and what you want out of life. Take life by storm and run with it, And when doing so, appreciate all of the little moments, because they are what make life worthwhile. And while you might not leave here today and remember the quadratic formula, all of the million literary terms, or what part of your brain is responsible for balance, you will walk away knowing that you're a part of a community of people who look out for one another and strive for success, and that you had an impact on the lives of those around you. So, as you leave here today, you will know that you will walk away knowing that you are part of this community, and you will have all of the unique and significant connections you have made with the students you are surrounded by today. Whether you met them in kindergarten, middle school, or within the past 4 years, you are all part of the Hempstead community. And you will continue down your journey to your amazing future, looking back and knowing that it is always a great day to be a Mustang. Thank you.
I'd like to start off by extending a warm welcome to Superintendent Ryan Gans, school board members, teachers, and all friends and family members who were able to make it out this afternoon. Although some of us probably don't want to admit it, none of us would be sitting here today without the support and dedication that you have all provided throughout our years in high school. We cannot express our gratitude enough. For the past 3 years, I've been seated uncomfortably over in the choir section while watching this very ceremony unfold. Each year, I observed as the names got called off and students awkwardly marked up on stage to receive a rectangular sheet of paper and a handshake. I heard the thunderous applause from family and friends shouting as loud as an air horn. Yes, some had air horns, in order to recognize their loved ones. Most importantly, I listened to the speeches being made and got inspired to write my own. I had 3 years to ponder what I wanted to talk about. But when senior year hit and it was time to put pen to paper, I was dumbfounded. Was I supposed to reminisce on memories, like awkwardly giving a talk about how to make a PB&J in Mr. Stanner's speech class freshman year? Or the fact that we should have had prom at a swimming pool last year since the AC cut out and we were all drowning in sweat anyways? Was I supposed to touch on things reserved to our class only, like experiencing some of the best Twitter memes in existence, or being the last class at school lucky enough to see the infamous moldy auditorium in a Bestos-filled A-wing? Or maybe I was supposed to use inspiring quotes and divulge the lessons that high school has provided. And then I remembered something. Each speaker I've listened to over the years has touched upon the fact that we are all Mustangs, and that that is the most important thing that will always connect us. These speakers weren't entirely wrong. The experiences we've had at Hempstead and the first-class education we've received is something that all of us will be able to look back on, hopefully with a smile. However, I disagree that being a Mustang is the only thing that binds us together. High school has not been all smiles and roses. This may seem like an obvious fact, as I'm sure some of you parents have experienced firsthand. Of course, there were the triumphs, like getting an A on a test or making it to the state tournament. Or maybe it was something different, like a promotion at work or being able to come to school without anxiety or fear of the day ahead of you. However, we often seem to forget that adversity is something that everyone has persevered through during their 4 years. Some adversities may have seemed smaller than others, but then again, size always differs in the eye of the beholder. Maybe you didn't connect with some of your classes, and it was a struggle trying to push through material you didn't know. Maybe you experienced injuries that crushed your hopes of playing a sport that you love. Maybe the people you thought were your friends turned against you and left you desperate to get home each day. Or maybe you needed to support yourself or your family and had to work late nights while still attending school the next morning. The point is this: it doesn't matter if you were a student athlete, mathlete, scholar, worker, homemaker, or if you didn't have a home to go to. What matters is that you're sitting in this room today, prepared to embark on the next phase of your journey. It's true that we're often referred to as the selfie generation, but we're also the generation that's going to get out and make a real difference in this world. I'm not sure if you know this, Hempstead, but Generation Z, that's us, is pretty awesome. We are the dreamers, the doers, and the makers. We're the dreamers of a better future, the hardworking doers who have more passion than we know what to do with, and the makers of tomorrow's innovation. By definition, we are adept researchers, skilled multitaskers, thank you social media, and born with the resources to be entrepreneurs. If you don't believe me, pull out the technology we're known for and look it up. And for all of you out there that think these gifts don't apply to you, here's my advice. Find triumph in your adversity. Let it teach you, guide you, define you. I challenge you to use your adversity to prove people wrong. The world isn't looking for someone with a perfect slate. It's looking for someone who knows how to let the pain become a gain, and more importantly, someone who's able to find the beauty in being different. So no, what connects us is not solely the fact that we are all Mustangs. It's the fact that we struggled through this thing called high school together. It's the fact that all of us receiving a diploma today got up each and every one of the past 1,460 days and did something. But for what it's worth, I will always be proud to share the green and gold spirit with all of you. Once a Mustang, forever a Mustang. Thanks for the memories, class of 2017. Let's go show the world what we're made of.
Thank you. Dreamers, makers, and doers, we're going to hold you guys to that. We look forward to seeing what life brings for you. The band had another busy and exciting year. Starting with marching practice in August, their schedule has included athletic events, assemblies, concerts, contests, parades, and now commencement. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hempstead Symphonic Band, directed by Mr. Greg Dow. Good hustle, everybody. I would call your attention to the Scholastic Honor listing in the program. The honor graduates are listed alphabetically within each GPA category. These 159 students are identified with the gold honor sash, and our students with a GPA over 4.0, you may have noticed, are wearing a white sash this afternoon. National Honor Society students are wearing gold cords. As we prepare to present diplomas, I request your cooperation, your patience, and attention so that all members of the class, from the very first to the very last, receive the honor and dignity they deserve on this very special occasion for them and their families. Ms. Beisker will only offer a brief pause between names. Please be respectful so that the name of each member of the class of 2017 is heard and that all students can be recognized for their 8 seconds on stage. Presenting the diplomas this afternoon will be Mr. Olson, Ms. Palmersheim, our retiring staff member for us, and members of the school board. Members of the Board of Education, parents, and friends of the graduates, it is my privilege to present to you the 2017 graduating class of Hempstead High School. Will the members of the class please rise? Board of Education members, as principal of Hempstead High School, and along with the faculty of Hempstead, we certify that the members of the class of 2017 here this afternoon have fulfilled all the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Dubuque Community School District Board of Education and the state of Iowa. I present them to you now and recommend that they be granted their diplomas. The class may be seated except for the first row of graduates who will come forward to the stage.
Ready? Allison Nicole Kress. Ready? Ready? Reese Benjamin Adams. Shanice Nakia Adams. Alex Michael Ulrich. Michelle Latanya Charlotte Adams. Russell John Allison. Paulina Lajuda Unternenbond. Olivia Nicole Otterer. Joseph Miller Ball. Cody Jason Bartles. Jared Michael Beacom. Quincy Jake Bechtold. James Albert Beckert. Isabel Rose Benke. Douglas Austin Beisker Olson. Derek Michael Benson. Atmila Betwell. Holly Ann Bitter. Murphy Blymeyer. Adam Chase Bolduck. Austin Daniel Bowling. Eric Thomas Borchert. Brittany Marie Boyd. Casey Lee Brayton. Dawson James Brem. Aspen Michael Briner. Leanna Marie Brenner. Haley Marie Breeze. Noah Thomas Brimmeyer. Brittany Mary Brown. Kristen Danielle Brown. Emily Ann Bukite. Taylor Rose Butler. Lily Danielle Caceres. Ricardo Alfredo Campa. Dakota Edward Carlson. Dalton William Carlson. Dakota James Carner. Latoriana Andrea Casey. Jared Christian Charnas. Noah Jacob Cheever. Ian Thomas Christ. Matthew Eric Saliski. Mitchell Scott Coleman. Levante Aaron Collins. Erica Ann Cohn. Gabrielle Mary Conlon. Dominic Exley John Cook. Tyler David Cooksley. Brittany Lynn Coase. Victoria Lee Coase. John Anthony Coyle. Trayer Thomas Christ. Marshawn Raheem Crowder. Ryan William Coomer. Aladdin Mamoom Dafala. Matthew Kirk Dahl. Mariah Ann Daneman. Erin Lynn Davis. Peyton Lorraine Davis. Heather Elaine Dean. Alexis Abigail Decker. William James Decker. Chase Michael Digman. Cody Allen Digman. Isabel Simone Davino. Brittany Christina Dix. Nicholas Matthew Dolphin. Allison Taylor Dress. Madeline Ray Dreyer. Connor John Duax. Christopher Joseph Deere. Adiva Ilwil Carol Liz Dura. Douglas Ryan Duvay. Alexis Marie Edwards. Austin Michael Elliott. Justin Floyd Elf. Matthew John Engelken. Jonathan Dontrell Irvin. Jacob Dennis Faber. Emma Catherine Fassbinder. Kayla Mae Felderman. Nathan Anthony Feldman. Jax Joseph Feldman. Corey Melvin Fetgetter. Peter David Flynn. Bailey Scott Fote. Anthony Leandre Fortin. Brenna Elise Franzen. Blake Jonathan Frederick. Austin John Freiberger. Brianna Lynn Freihofer. Rebecca Marie Fuller. Michaela Shanice Gardner. Maya Eleanor George. Samantha Michelle Gibbons. Abigail Elizabeth Gillis. Elizabeth Marie Grace. Courtney Michelle Green. Kara Patricia Grieve. Muriel Javis Griffin. Megan Nicole Gruno. Dalton Joseph Gross. Jacob Michael Hansel. Kelly Ann Franzen. Bailey Elizabeth Hanson. Elizabeth Ann Hanson. Abigail Ray Harbin. Raleigh Dakota Hardwick. Stephanie Lee Haupert. Matthew Ray Haynes. Tanisha Michelle Haynes. Jordan Cassandra Heiderscheit. Carolyn Elizabeth Hendren. Christopher Charles Dale Henson Jr. Sean Robert Henches. Thomas Gerald Hilken. Cassandra Lee Hillary. Brooke Ivy Hinchin. Dylan James Hinman. Gabrielle Grace Hershey. Hannah Elizabeth Hoffman. Shelby Angeline Hoffman. Annika Rose Hagstrom. Natalie Siddell Hall. Charlie Anna Hollister. Jerome Bernard Marshawn Hoskins. Aiden Robert Houlihan. Carrie Louise Houlihan. Nicole Marie Hotaker. Alyssa Michelle Hughes. Spencer Douglas Hummel. Leah Marie Hunn. Brennan Thomas Imhoff. Mohammed Mustafa Imran. Kariana Lynn Yeager. Rachel Marie Yeager. Maxwell Maverick James. Jason Daniel Johnson. Lydia Renee Johnson. McKenna Ann Johnson. Kelly Renee Jones. Nadia Marie Jones. Nathaniel Michael Jones. Dylan Matthew Jurgens. Riley Marie Youngblood. Rachel Emma Duran. Jack Michael Casebauer. Alexia Lynn Kaiser. Joshua Nistyal Kalyanapu. Elijah Jailan Kamara. Claire Lillian Kane. Garrett Charles Kane. Zachary George Capros. Paisley Corrine Castle. Caitlin May Kaufman. Alex John Keating. Chandler Dylan Keck. Alexander Anthony Kelly. Lakota Sue Kelly. Jace Lynn Kennedy. Megan Marie Kennedy. Jesse Ryan Key. Shelby Marie Key. Zachary Adam Key. Matthew James Kiernan. Nicole Joanne Kinsel. Brett Zachary Kloss. Carl Ray Klaska. Carrie Ann Klein. Morgan Lynn Kleesner. Katie Lynn Conzen. Brittany Wynn Kuntz. Cameron Isaiah Kappas. Destiny Claire Coates. Jacob Robert Kramer. Landon Bruce Kramer. Audrey K. Kryling. Morgan Lee Krameyer. Crystal Elizabeth Crowell. Adam Joseph Kennan. Ethan Christopher Keeter. Noah Michael Kuhn. Lydia Abigail Kunkel. Alexis Taylor Cooperschmidt. Andrew Timothy Leahy. Victoria Lee Landum Johnson. Justin John Lancer. Claire Marie Lansing. Tressa Jean Lauer. Sierra Sky Leib. Ashley Morgan Leibfried. Broderick Michael Leibfried. Austin Jeffrey Like. Emily Catherine Lenstra. Noah Calloway Link. Peter James Lockwood. Alexis Auburn Loney. Lauren Elizabeth Ludescher. Logan James Ludovici. Mitchell Douglas Manders. Grace Rosemary Montunac. Isaac Paul Martin. Jalen Eugene Martin. Vanessa Lillian Maury. Mallory Lynn McDonald. Damon Lee Meldy. Bailey Mark Murfeld. Riley Lynn Murfeld. Andrew Allen Meyer. Brady John Myers. Cassandra Ann Marie Michalakis. Jacob Edward Miller. Jonathan James Miller. Nicholas Allen Miller. Connor Thomas Mills. Casey Lynn Mills. Kyle Matthew Mills. Hemi Milton. Brandon Nicholas Mitchell. Andrew J. Malzoff. Chelsea Marie Malzoff. Elliot Joseph Montag. Emily Ann Montgomery. Tristan Philippe Montocchio. Logan Lee Moore. Heather Elizabeth Morley. Mariah Lynn Morris. Austin David Mosier. Adam Jacob Miller. Ben Joseph Nauman. Edwin Nava. Austin Christopher Niebel. Mason David Neville. Romanda Angel Neely. Keely Jensen Newton. Alicia Sue Nichols. Luke Arthur Noonan. Ariane Shaquille Norman. Megan Ruth Oberfell. Ryan James Oberhofer. Bailey Ora Onesorge. Michaela Nicole Oldfather. Kaylee Lilith Olson. Samantha Lee Olson. Madison Alexis O'Neill. Joshua Taylor Opelt. Jade Kelly O'Rourke. Adriana Marie Ortiz. Felicia Marie Ostrander. Ashley Ann Otting. Stacy Jo Otting. Levi Renee Parker. Cassidy Lynn Pauls. Ethan Edward Lewis Peacock. Alicia Lauren Perkins. William Charles Peterson. Preston Clifford Pickle. Austin Richard Pierce. Shakira Akia Pierce. Thomas Brian Poggemiller. Vanessa Ann Potoff. Kiera Moshe Powell. Maggie Irene Puccio. Morgan May Quick. Tyrese O'Neill Ralston. Alfonso Ramirez Lopez. Courtney Ann Reagan. Logan John Rivas. Amanda Lynn Reeves. Taylor Christine Rayfelt. Matthew Joseph Rettenberger. Bristol May Ryder. Haley Marie Romberg. Lillian Marie Reese. Hannah Megan Rinflesh. Madison Lee Ritt. Elizabeth Grace Robertson. Samuel Park Roth. Cassandra Michelle Rotes. McLean Douglas Roush. Jackson Lewis Russell. Shannon Elizabeth Rundy. Rachel Sue Ryan. Emma Catherine Ryder. Noah Patrick Sabers. Sierra Lynn Sanchez. Sydney Rose Sanders Colford. Bailey Marie Sandman. Tyrell Douglas Saunders. Samuel Christopher Saylor. Samantha Lee Schaller. Andrew George Schemmel. Jordan James Schemmel. Mitchell Charles Schemmel. Cody Daniel Scherf. Chase Joseph Schlegel. Emily Jean Schlieder. Brady John Schmidt. Cheyenne Michelle Schmidt. Faith Leanne Schnorr. Garrett Bernard Schrader. Sarah Gail Schroeder. Cody Michael Schuler. Jordan Taylor Schuler. Sarah Elizabeth Schuler. Joseph William Schultz. Matali Marie Schultz. Livia Jeanling Schutz. Kiernan Irvin Schaefer. Nicole Marie Sharkey. Emma Rose Sherlock. Kyle Glenn Siefker. Butch Allen Sievers. Markayla Kira Sikorsky. Trevor James Sinberg. Rourke Stephen Skemp. Emily Joy Smith. Erica Jean Smith. Tabitha Ann Smith. Skylar Dawn Smith Henkel. Amber Marie Smothers. Elijahwan Adrell Anton Sneed. Luella Vi Robin Sapi. Zoe Ray Sapi. Jacob Patrick Soto. Alexander James Southwood. Hope Jean Splinter. Haley Marie Spremont. Catherine Claire Stamps. Faith Jennifer Steiner. McCormick Thomas Stevenson. Jessica Renee Stewart. Jacob Andrew Stoffel. Brooke Danielle Tauber. Nathan Thomas Talkie. Abigail Catherine Teft. Hunter Joseph Thill. Emily Rose Tigas. William John Tigas. Mallory Marie Tompkins. Ashlyn Marie Travis. Lauren Elizabeth Tressel. Maxwell Herbert Unmocked. Michaela Rose Updegraff. Connor James Valley. Connor Allen Van Cleve. Margaret Louisa Voorhees. Brianne Radine Walker. Emily Ruth Weber. Sarah Suzette Weber. Michael Joseph Weideman. Ryan Joseph Weideman. Kaylee Elizabeth Wieland. Joshua Kachera Weiner. Heidi Lee Wallou. Spencer Philip West. Jordan Michael Wiegand. Samantha K. Wieland. Alex Michael Winter. Dakota Patrick Wolbers Connolly. Kyle James Wolf. N.U. Wu. Alexander Joseph Young. Tyler Daniel Zahn. Jackson David Zartman. Jesse James Zaromsky. Rebecca Ann Zillig. Joshua Edward Zimmerman.
Will the class of 2017 please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, the Hempstead High School, class of 2017. Today is Saturday, June 3rd, and it's a great day to be a Mustang.